Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, what a night. What a day. We saw Bitcoin dip down to 29,000. We saw Terra dip down to $25. And we still see UST below $1. In fact, it's like at 80 cents. What is going on? Is everything broken? Is Bitcoin broken? Is Terra broken? Is UST broken? Is the crypto market broken? That is what I'm going to talk about tonight, along with my friend who hasn't made an appearance for quite some time, Mr. Walker, is going to be joining me tonight. So, let's do this. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me on all my streams on social media, CryptosRUs.com, and the brand new CryptosRUs Clips channel, which I actually released a brand new video this afternoon about Terra and Luna. Hopefully you guys caught that. But yeah, that's why you want to subscribe to there too. All right, welcome, guys. Ooh. Today is just not a good day. It's not a good day at all. But you know what? It's like ripping off a Band-Aid, okay? It hurts for a second. Then you're like, okay, not so bad. Not so bad. So, kind of like that with Bitcoin. You can see we finally hit that 29,000 marks that so many people were waiting for, right? We started this morning, I forget how high or how low, 35, 34, something like that. We dropped to 33, dropped to 31, and we hit that with that downwick right there, about 29.7. So this is the point that many people expected, that this would be kind of like a bottom, and so far, so good. I even have that red line marked, right? And you could go back all the way to 2021, right around there. So we did it. We finally hit it. We ripped off the Band-Aid, right? But what's even more mind-boggling, or more, I don't know how you say it, more head-scratcher, is Luna. Luna went from literally $65 this morning down to $26. More than 50% drop. I haven't seen a drop like this since the XRP commercial debuted back in 2018. This is that bad. That bad. And not only that, the UST peg, right now it's recovering at 80 cents, but this should not be lower than $1. This is ludicrous, okay? It dropped as low as 69 cents. So, does this show there's a weakness with algorithmic stablecoins? Well, let me get to that. Let me talk about what happened, right? And why this could have contributed to the downward pressure that we saw today with Bitcoin. So, what did happen? What did happen? Well, there's a lot of course, liquidations going on right now, right? A lot of it. In fact, if you add up all the Bitcoin liquidations out there, about $1 billion. $1 billion of longs liquidated. You can't recover this back. It's gone, right? This is much worse than unrealized loss, which I know many of you guys probably suffered a lot of unrealized loss. Trust me, I did too. I'm in here with you guys, right? I've been holding, and my unrealized loss is probably way more than any of you guys, but that's okay because it's unrealized loss. It's not a loss until you sell, but with liquidations, it is a loss. It's just gone. You can't recover from that, right? And that's $1+ billion worth of sell pressure on Bitcoin, just from the liquidations alone, and not from Luna or anyone else, right? And doesn't count all the other liquidations on Ethereum and Terra and Solana and Cardano. You add all that up, it could probably be multiple billions. I'm pretty sure it is multiple billions, probably 3-4 billion when you add it all up. So obviously that put a lot of pressure down on everything. And something was happening with UST and Luna. In fact, Do Kwon kind of knew this already because the UST depegged by 1 cent already yesterday, which is no big deal because it depegged, meaning it went to 98 cents instead of 99.9. And that worried Do a little bit. So he did employ 1.8 billion in capital, right? Meaning that he took it out of the wallets and is sitting there waiting to be sold in case the UST depegs. And that's exactly what happened today because you had some bad characters. And I saw it was one of the bad characters is Shifu, one of the guys behind Abracadabra and behind a lot of other stuff like Quadrica, like one of the main scammers of Quadrica. And he caused UST to depeg before with Abracadabra, right? So I saw a lot of evidence that he was dumping UST. Obviously, when he started dumping, it got a lot of other people fearful. And then it just started escalating, right? So even though this 1.5 billion was removed from the wallets, right, it seemed like it was not enough. When UST goes down or when Terra goes down by that much, it's just not enough. So how the peg works is this. There's an algorithm that tries to keep at $1, okay? And quite simply, if it goes above $1, they will utilize money from the reserve to buy Bitcoin. If it goes below, they will use the money to buy UST. But the problem is how UST is minted is by burning Luna, right? But if the UST peg starts going down, that kind of screws up the ratio. Whatever ratio they have between Luna and UST, it screws it up. So that's why Luna started being sold off too. Because now you have so many people that's trying to sell UST at once. There's too much of it. There's a flood of it. Okay? And then it got depegged, meaning that it started going down from 99 cents to 90 cents to 80 cents to 60 cents. So definitely scared a hell of a lot of people. And in fact, and then it caused Terra to actually have to sell Bitcoin to kind of prop it up, to back it with something so it doesn't keep collapsing. So unfortunately, if you look at their wallet that's holding Bitcoin, well, you see that they took out basically their entire amount of $1.7 billion, then deposited back $881 million. So they roughly sold about $900 million worth of Bitcoin to try to stabilize UST, right? So that's an enormous amount of pressure. I just got done talking about the 1 billion plus of liquidations. Then you got another 1 billion worth of Bitcoin being sold. That's $2 billion worth of pressure right now. Granted, I don't think this was sold on the exchanges. I think this was sold OTC, just like when they buy it's onto the OTC, but still a lot of selling today. So obviously not good for anyone, right? So going back to this peg, yeah, that's the reason why. And Luna just basically mass panic. People were trying to sell Luna left and right. Everyone's talking about how KuCoin is overloaded. Seems like everyone is sending Luna to KuCoin and trying to liquidate it. And there's just a lot of fear. And even now, the peg is not all the way back. It's still at 80 cents. It shouldn't be at 80 cents. It should be at $1. So this is still a concerning thing. Now, Do Kwon has stayed quiet. Okay, so his last update was deploy more capital, steady lads, and that's it. Haven't heard anything else, right? But I don't know what's going to happen. I truly believe that Terra can bounce back from this. I still have a significant amount of UST in Anchor, and Anchor also mass panic. Mass panic. In fact, there's a bank run. If you look at Anchor, 23% of deposits withdrawn within 2 days, including most of that is today. Now, granted, you could see here, 1.4 billion taken out versus 224 million coming in. But, you know, that, of course, is because Anchor and UST and Luna, they're kind of all intertwined. But there's also, yeah, a lot of fear on Anchor. I mean, there's just a lot of fear all around. And plus, let's not forget the liquidations of Luna. Like, for example, here, someone got liquidated for $225 million. Okay? That's not good. And there's a ton of people that got liquidated too, right? So bottom line is this. There's endless fear right now over Terra and UST. And we're all speculating on what Doe is going to do. Okay? So I'm waiting for him and the Luna Foundation guard and Terra to kind of summarize exactly what happened and what they're going to do about it. Okay? Because it does seem like they stopped selling Bitcoin, so which is good because they deposited back 28,000 Bitcoins, right? Terra UST seems to be stabilizing a little bit, much better off than 60 something cents before. So it's back up to 80 cents, right? And Luna itself is trying to stabilize around 30-ish from its low of $26, which, I mean, again, I haven't seen this kind of drop on a big cap literally ever. I don't think I've seen something like this happen because we really never had algorithmic stablecoins become as big as it is now, right? So I like to think that Terra's go figure it out. I believe in Doe. I believe in Terra. I think there's no reason to doubt them. But a lot of bad actors may have found a weakness to this whole system. And I'm pretty sure they're going to still continue to exploit it if they still have enough money to do that, right? But can Doe and Terra find their way and recover from this? I hope so. I hope so. I still hold a ton of Luna. Didn't sell one bit at all. I still have a ton of UST. Didn't sell it one bit at all. In fact, it's still on Anchor. Haven't touched anything. A ton of unrealized loss tonight for sure on Terra alone and UST if you want to count that. But I have faith. I have faith in Terra and Doe. Let's see what they will do. Now, I will say this. If they do survive this, okay, I'm pretty sure that they could survive anything after this because this is one of the most tremendous, horrific drops I have seen. So if they do figure this out and they have some automatic, when this is what they were going after, some kind of automatic algorithm that balances Terra and UST and keeps the peg going, then yeah, they will come out stronger than ever, right? And DCAing right now and buying at these levels can profit handsomely if they simply just even go back up to $60. You're basically doubling from here, right? So I'm waiting to hear what they say, right? And I'm really hoping they come through because I do not want to see this project go under, nor do I want to see the entire market cap get pulled down even more because of it, okay? So that is what happened with Terra, the Depeg, and how it contributed to Bitcoin's fall, right? Now, you could argue that even without it, Bitcoin may have fallen here anyways because so many people were expecting it to go down to 28,000, 29,000, almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point because no one wanted to buy. Everyone wanted to wait to see it drop, and it did. So that's where we are, right? And like many out there, I myself took advantage of the dip. I know so many people else did, right? Because this is what we were waiting for, right? Now, is there a chance that Bitcoin could go lower? Yes, there is. But like I've been saying, No one knows bottom. No one knows where it's going to be. You could only make guesses, estimations. You could draw lines all you want all day long. It doesn't matter if there's enormous sell pressure or if there's enormous buy pressure, right? So bottom line is, I do think this is definitely a low level. We got oversold. Bitcoin, crypto, everything, right? And I do believe it's a good buy opportunity. So I bought today. I bought a tremendous amount today. I bought a tremendous amount yesterday. And I will continue to buy tremendous amounts if we continue lower, because that's what we do. We buy when things are low and we profit after they come back up. And Bitcoin always does. Always does. Now, I'm not the only one. President Bukele also bought the dip, 500 Bitcoins, right? That's a good amount. And I'm sure others are looking to buy as well, right? In fact, this proves it. A lot of Bitfinex whales started to buy the hell out of Bitcoin, started buying a lot of longs, right? You could see that blue just skyrocketing. So there are still a lot of whales that are buying the dip, because that's what you do. You buy when things are low, right? Last one, just to show you. In terms of TA, in terms of oversold levels, yeah, we are oversold. We're definitely oversold. RSI is back to 17, which is a level that you could see previous times when there was a big spike downwards. That's usually when there's a reversal. And plus, it correlates with the fact that Bitcoin has hit that same point, 29,000, that we hit in 2021, right? So kind of aligns with that. And plus, Luna does seem to be stabilizing. So all that does help. And I already put out a video this afternoon about what could be coming tomorrow, which could be positive, which is President Biden making a speech about inflation. This comes one day before the CPI number comes out on Wednesday. Why? Hopefully, he's going to give some good news, because his poll ratings are not so good. No one really believes that President Biden is doing a good job at curbing inflation. And I pointed out during the press conference with Powell, he made mention how the White House can help with inflation. And then he kind of backtracked and said, no, I need to stay in my lane. But he was hinting that the White House can actually do something about it. So will something positive come out of tomorrow's meeting or press conference? Maybe. And then also what's positive is this. CPI number is expected to go down on Wednesday, meaning that March could have been our top for inflation, and we're rounding out the corner and coming back down. And if that's the case, and April CPI numbers actually come out lower, that would be extremely, extremely positive, which means Powell and his board of governors does not have to go ultra hawkish, which is scaring so many people because they think hawkishness is going to lead to recession. And we're starting to see hints of that already. So that could also be a big catalyst coming up on Wednesday. So tomorrow and Wednesday, big days. All right, so looking forward to it. And looking forward to seeing what Doe says. Lastly, the one person that has stayed very quiet indeed, is Michael Saylor. I've been waiting for him to come out with something inspirational, keep us motivated. But he's not feeling it today. After he tweeted this, he's gone silent. And I was wondering why. Well, I decided to do some research. This may be why. Because MicroStrategy's average on Bitcoin is 30,200. And remember, with the counting of public trade companies, you have to take a loss if at any point the Bitcoins you bought drop below your original buying point. It sucks, I know, even though it doesn't make any sense, but that's how it is, right? And Bitcoin did fall below 30,200. It fell down to 29,000, which means in next quarter, when Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy has to announce their permanent loss, whatever you call it, right? It's going to be nasty. It's going to be probably in the billions. Okay? So That's probably why he's not feeling it. Now, a lot of people are also speculating that he's feeling the pressure because Bitcoin could possibly fall down to 21,000 and he could get margin called on his loan, which could happen. I think at this point it's unlikely, but let's say it does happen. No worries. Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy has plenty of Bitcoins to put down more collateral to bring that average price down. So there will be no margin calls. But a lot of people are talking about that. So that's why I want to mention that. But I need Michael and everyone else, to keep people engaged and informed and bring hope and faith to the market. Twitter is so toxic right now. Seems like I'm the only one that's still bullish. Seems like everyone has turned bearish. We need Michael to come back. We need others to come back to make people focus on the future. When in doubt, zoom out. And today was one of those nasty days that we will forget 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road. Maybe I won't forget because I still remember what happened in 2017 and 2018 and 19, 20, and 21. But most of you guys will forget, especially after a few drinks. All right. That is it. Let's do some Q&A and drinking. I haven't drunk anything yet, so. Cheers. Oh, man. Due to inflation, Blue Label now costs $200 instead of $180 at Costco. That's a big jump. That's over 10% jump. So this may be my last bottle for a while. DXY is still growing. Yeah, I don't expect DXY to stop anytime soon. And that's because foreign currencies are getting weaker by the minute. So even though USD is that weak, others are even weaker. That is why DXY keeps going and going and going and doesn't seem to be stopping. So let me add DXY in here just so I can start tracking it and bring it up easier. So let's add that. Oh, wait, did I add it too many times? Where did it go? No, I just removed it. All right. So DXY is at 103.6. Well, it hasn't gone up more. It's about the same level as before. It did reach 104 a little bit and then came back down, but it's still holding around 103. But, the euro is in total disaster. British pound is. Japanese yen is. So that's why the USD is so strong. David, after my regular DCA today, I got a bonus. I still have my DCA bag ready and want to add it. What are your thoughts? Cosmos, Sand, Luna, Engine, Phantom, or make a random pick? You know what? I still believe in Luna. That's why I DCA'd into Luna, right? But I realize at this point it's a little bit dangerous, but I still believe in them. And seeing how they sold off 50% today, I say that's a pretty good buying opportunity, right? But if you're going DCA, don't go all in. But I would say everything you named. Cosmos, I love. Phantom, I love. Engine, I like. Sand, I like. So I think you got a bunch of good ones. And then let's not forget, throw in Cardano in there, throw in Ethereum. They all sold today. All of them. So plenty of good pickups. At one point, Google was selling UST for 162, massive arbitrage, but they had massive, yeah, usually it happens. Usually it's really hard to do exchange arbitrage because there's delays on deposits and withdrawals, but there you go. Wing Sum, thanks for bringing the calm and confidence into this hectic market. I appreciate that. I do. And I appreciate you and everyone else watching staying strong. It's really easy to give up. So, okay, we have a good bounce to 31,000. Sometimes, whatever I say, whatever anyone else says, this goes in one year and out the other, right? Because some people just don't want to hear it. They lost money. They don't care what anyone says. They're like, this is a scam. This is a Ponzi. It's not for me. I'm going to go, right? But I've been through a couple of these times. I had a couple of sessions with Mr. Walker here, okay? And you know what? We always get through it. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Anticipation of pain is worse than the pain itself. And even though we were hovering at 40,000, 38,000, 36,000, right? So many people anticipated more pain and more pain and more pain. And I think we got that today. So we lived through it. We lived to fight another day. And when it comes to investing, that's how it works. You got to keep going. You can't give up. You got to have patience, DCA, and HODL. That's the strategy. That's the strategy. Gangster Party. Outside of retirement accounts, do you have any personal tax strategies looking to start DeFi projects, trying to figure out how not to pay taxes on clients' funds? I haven't figured anything out with DeFi. I mean, traditional tax strategies is out there. But in terms of not paying taxes on DeFi, let's say rewards, that just doesn't exist. You could offset it with business losses, right? You could trade as a business and there could be business deductions and losses, but I don't know of any strategy for DeFi though. Well, I mean, you could take a loan against your crypto, then you would pay the tax, the fees, would be deductions. But still, I don't recommend that. I mean, it's never a good idea. Never a good idea. Are you concerned Cadena's promising to burn KDX, the token Cadena, but instead pocketing and selling them and banning people asking questions? No. Well, first of all, I haven't heard that. I don't know why they would promise to burn KDX because they're not really involved with KDX. I don't know why they would do that. And second of all, if they're saying to go burn it, most likely they'll go prove it on chain. They go send it to a wallet address that's inaccessible, essentially burning it. Okay, so they can't hide that unless they don't show that, but that would be stupid. So, yes. Whew. That is smooth. Feels a lot like May 9th, 2021, BTC 59K sell-off. I mean, right now feels very similar to 2021. All right? It feels very, very similar. Right now, the only difference really is, this whole Depeg thing from Terra UST. I hope they make it through. I really do think that they will, but they have to figure out something fast because these bad actors that's putting enormous sell pressure on UST is going to continue to do so. So that is worrisome. So I hope they get through that. So that's the difference. But also, the macroeconomic stuff in 2021, even though we knew that inflation was going to be a bitch in 2022, right? You didn't have the Fed raising rates, which is happening now, right? So that's also a little bit different. But in terms of FUD level drops, I mean, it feels very similar. It's painful. It's painful. But remember, unrealized loss is unrealized loss, not realized loss until you sell. So keep that in mind. Bourbon recommendations. I don't know. I'm not a big bourbon. I tried King Louis XIII, but that's like $4,000 a bottle. I don't know if that's within your budget. But yeah, that's a pretty good bourbon. Or just something like Maker's Mark. It's a cheap bourbon. Mix that with whatever. Whiskey sour. It's a good bourbon to choose with whiskey sour. Do you think DJED stablecoin will fare better than UST? Well, this is showing, one of the weakness when it comes to algorithmic stablecoins. Okay, Maker Dai, they had a similar issue before, but not nearly as bad. And there's some speculation that they may have contributed to this, but that's just speculation. But I'm not really sure if DJED is algorithmic. So I guess this is one of the reasons why you know, a lot of these algorithmic stablecoins is coming out because of Terra, right? Near is algorithmic. Phantom is algorithmic. Tron's new one is algorithmic, right? That's like the new thing. They may want to rethink it. But I'll give a shout out to VeChain because VeChain's new stablecoin is not algorithmic. And I actually question why they didn't do a similar setup to Terra. But it shows in the hindsight of VeChain, they probably thought about it and said, you know, this kind of stuff may happen. So let's just go with the more traditional route. So we'll see if Luna pulls through. Okay, I really think they still will. But if they pull through and they implement some kind of new system that prevents this from ever happening again, then they will come out stronger. Luna will recover, UST will recover, and all will be well. Okay? But they need to get over this hump right now. It's like being attacked. You know, you got to withstand the forces, and if you do, you'll be okay. So I think they will come out victorious, but let's see what they say. Let's see what they say. Do you have any thoughts on the BTC correlation with NASDAQ? Well, yeah, it's obvious, Randall, that traders are just, you know, they're buying and selling NASDAQ in tandem with Bitcoin. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's not like Bitcoin is pegged to the NASDAQ, although sometimes it seems like it is. It's just because you got silly traders that are panicking. They're not investors. They panic dump everything. And if they bought a lot of Bitcoin before, well, then, you know, they're panic dumping that right now, right? Along with their tech stocks, which is why you do see this correlation. Yeah. Your crypto tainer, yes, I still hold significant amount of UST on Anchor. I'm just waiting to see what happens. I don't want to panic dump. I mean, I know it's obvious. Like when you see something go down that much, you're like, oh, I got to do it, right? But, you know, I've seen a lot of these situations where, yes, it seems like all hope is lost and, you know, something like will just go to zero. But usually when you get to that breaking point, you wait it out and then you realize, well, it's not doing that, right? So that's what I did with UST and Terra. I haven't touched one bit, and I have a significant amount. Probably one of my larger holdings within my portfolio. And I got hammered, okay? Hammered on it. But I have faith in the project. Jamie, Vegas party this year? I'm hoping so, but probably not this year. Probably next year. Don says, cycle is longer, still no blow off top. Yep, that's definitely true. Could still come end of this year. That's still a possibility. MDM, Samurai, we're all George. I appreciate that, man. Here's to you. Whew. For some reason, my body has adapted to whiskey, so I get less drunk with whiskey than I do with beer. Because I don't drink a lot of beer, but it's kind of funny that way. That doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, we're starting to see a little George pump, okay? The George effect is happening. So we're up to 31.3. We'll take that. You know, 31.6 was actually one of the previous resistance/support. If we could break above that and hold above that, we could build from there, right? Get a little bit recovery. Is Luna recovering? Not that much. A little bit off its lows, but I love to see Luna get back above 40s and gain some traction. And when it does, it can definitely bounce hard because of how fast it's fallen. So it could definitely come back up. But man, there's just so many good buys right now. So many. I mean, Ethereum at 2,300. Come on. Solana at 64. Cardano at 63. You know, Avalanche at 42. Right? Polygon at 86. I mean, you have some tremendous bargains out there. Okay, so I'm sleeping on Ergo. I don't know if I am. Am I really sleeping on them? Last 3 months, I mean, they were doing good back in March, but not so much the last 2 months, just like everything else. Under 85 million doesn't seem like they have any traction, broke. Whiskey works. It does. It does. What do you think about CRO entry price? You know, CRO hasn't been doing that well. I mean, honestly, right now, it doesn't seem like anything's doing well, but they have sold off a little bit more than most. 52% the last 30 days. I think Kronos is weak right now just because the market is weak. They make a lot of their money from, obviously, from their debit cards, their exchange, right? And right now, probably not a whole lot of people using either. They cause a lot of FUD to themselves because they try to remove staking rewards. Then they brought it back, but it's still not as good as before. So the market for them is just has gotten smaller, right? I think they'll hang around. They're still above, you know, despite their fall, they're still above FTX, which shows you how big they are. Because FTX is absolutely huge, and they're still bigger than FTX. So I think they'll get through it. Man, I got 9,000 people tuned in right now. 9,000. You guys should all have a drink with me. But I appreciate you guys being here. I'll pour myself another one here. All right. Even with slow chat on, there's just too much chat going on right now. Jesus is coming. Okay. Thanks for the warning. Jamie, Meta plus Polygon partnership got lost in the noise today. You know, I don't think anyone cares about Meta. That's the thing. No one likes Meta. No one likes Zuck. And that's why I don't think it's actually positive for Polygon. I think that's a lot of bad press they're bringing onto themselves. Do you have Depeg insurance on UST? I do not. I have 100K UST. I'm pretty nervous. I did too before, but now I got down to 48 because I actually used some of it to DCA. But you know what? I think they'll pull through. I think I have faith that Doe will figure it out. Right? We're seeing the Depeg kind of, at least UST kind of hovering around 80 cents. I think the bad actors may have sold off all their UST, and now the market is trying to digest what's going on. I know people even bought UST. Like buying stablecoin is usually not investment, but some people are, right? So Frankie, I don't have insurance. I'm just leaving it in there. All these people complain about this dip only do so because they have too much of their wealth put in. They need to chill out, get out, or have money on the side, right? Like I've been saying, I put in a significant amount today. I put in $50,000 today for DCA. I put $50,000 yesterday, so that's 6 figures already. But that's because I have that 25, 30% in cash, so I'm able to do so, right? But many people don't, and you know that's where it kind of hurts when you watch things go down. But when things go back up, right, you'll be happy that you DCA'd. So that's why you got to figure out how to get that cash pile on the side. Otherwise, it's going to hurt a little bit. But I will maintain that DCAing is still the best course of action. I've been through so many of these, and sometimes you got to wait it out. You wait it out. Maybe you got to wait 6 months. You got to wait out 12 months. But Bitcoin always comes back. The market comes back, and all coins are stronger than ever. Every single time. Red Eye, appreciate that. Question, I sent UST 4 hours ago from KuCoin to Terra Station, still not received. Have you heard anything? I hear KuCoin is absolutely hammered right now. Absolutely hammered with UST. Right? So, unfortunately, you know, it's probably going to be stuck there for a while. You know, instead of everyone trying to, like, flip-flop on KuCoin, realize that you could do so with, you know, Terra Bridge. Terra has, you know, there's plenty of DEXs out there, right? You could flip between Luna and UST right from Terra Station, right? So there's a lot of things you could do without transferring to KuCoin and waiting for it. Just to throw that out there. I'm drinking my double black and buying a dip. Thanks for positive energy. Thank you, Kenneth. And I'm glad you're staying strong. And Crypto Dynamics, I thank your super chat as well. Did you see red sky in China? No. I don't even know what that is. I love KuCoin. Don't get me wrong. I do love KuCoin. But I will give you guys a warning about KuCoin because I found this out recently. Even though U.S. residents can start participate in KuCoin, but the withdrawals is limited to 1 Bitcoin. It's not such a big deal for most people. But they have started limiting certain trading pairs. Okay? I recently noticed that there was one that I wanted to trade. Happens to be Illuvium. And I was trying to trade it on KuCoin, and I couldn't. This message came up saying you cannot trade in your region. So even though you're on KuCoin and you are a U.S. resident, they can detect, where you are, and basically there's certain trading pairs that they will not allow you to trade on. Just to throw it out there. So it's starting to happen. All this lockdown and clampdown on exchanges from the SEC and the U.S. is starting to happen. So that's unfortunate. So what I recommend is for those of you guys that are not familiar with DEXs, start getting familiar real quick, okay? You have to get used to DEXs because they will be the future. There will be certain trading pairs that you will not find any exchange. And KuCoins of the world will probably be turned off to U.S. residents without KYC, right? So start getting used to DEXs because you may be locked out in the future. Just throwing that out there. Days like today makes future millionaires. DCA HODL. I completely agree, Rich. Completely agree. MEXC exchange froze UST, trapped us all. We can't sell that. That could be, that's not a good thing to lock people in, but that could be a good thing because when UST comes up, then you'll be glad you didn't panic sell it. Matt Gannon says, I lost 100K today. I'll take a drink for you, but know that I lost more. At least unrealized losses. Buy some Balton. I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Jeff, appreciate it. I believe the market will get better before it gets worse. Okay. Thanks for anything. What do you think about Benjamin Cohen's theory that we're going to low 20s? It's an educated guess, right? He thinks it could, and I'm not going to say it won't. But the 21,000 mark is the 200 moving average, the weekly moving average. And that has been, come on. That has been like a low point for previous crypto winters, right? Back in 2018, back in 2020, that was like the absolute bottom before Bitcoin bounced. So can it happen? Maybe. Is it likely? I don't think so. But, people are just guessing based on what has happened before. Doesn't mean that it has to happen again. You think Rune is a solid project? I think so. I think it's, it's a liquidity provider for DeFi pools, right? I think it's a decent project. Joe Ogden says, I'm down over $100. I'm still buying all the lows. Just saying. You get it, man. You get it. DCA during panics, during low points, is what you're supposed to do, right? You bring your cost average down significantly at these low points. And it could go lower, right? Maybe Ben's right, we go to 21,000, but that's when you buy some more. So it's crucial to make sure that you have that cash on the side so you're able to take advantage. If you can't, right, well, then you're kind of stuck. You can continue to HODL, and that could still work out. Right, but if you have the ability to DCA on the way down, that is the best thing you could do. Now, obviously, it doesn't work for every single project. You have to pick out the winners, right? The big L1s, the ones that have the most traction, the best teams, the most dApps, the most TVL, right? So as long as you do your research and understand what you're getting involved with, well, then you'll be just fine if you continue to DCA. But if you're blind buying things that you don't understand or take a risk, well, then it may not work out, right? And rule number one is never invest more than what you can afford to lose also. I mean, that should be a rule everyone follows. I shouldn't even have to say that. But what does that mean? Never buy on credit card. Never take out a loan. Never put down collateral to buy, right? Don't play with money that you don't have because it adds unnecessary pressure on top of your trades and it will wreck you. So don't do it. Don't ever buy anything outside of cash. Cash is what you're trying to get rid of, right? So don't buy on credit card. Don't take out a loan. Don't be paying 20% APR to try to make money with crypto, right? Or putting your house on mortgage to buy crypto. That's just not a good move. Don't ever do it. Encrypted Byte, I appreciate your support, man. I do. Bobby Digital, Sol, and Elrond are solid. Maybe Avalanche. I think all of them. I think all of them are solid. I haven't heard much about Elrond these days, but you know, they're a promising L1. Rohit, appreciate it. Is Cadena dead or DCA? I don't think it's dead. Someone just said about they buying Cadena CADEX tokens. I don't know what that deal is, but I mean Cadena, man, has fallen a lot, right? I know. Has fallen even below when I originally found them. But I think the technology is solid. I think the team is solid. So I think they will survive. I think they will survive. Along with many, many, many others out there. All right. Unless you win the lottery, wealth does not come easily in life, but it's easy to lose. Well, yeah. Preservation of wealth is stronger than making wealth itself, right? I don't know if that's how the saying goes, but that's why people panic sell more than DCAing low because it's preservation of wealth, right? And I get it. You know, most people watching this, most people in crypto, they have a 9-to-5 job, right? They could be making, 100K a year, maybe not, maybe 40K a year, maybe 30K a year, right? There's not a lot of money, that you could just throw around, right? And if you lose any bit of it, it hurts. And I get that. I've been there. Before I got into crypto, before I got into YouTube, I lived through that. With kids, with a family, with a mortgage, with car loans, I get it, right? But the one thing I've learned is you got to have patience when it comes to investing. Doesn't matter if it's crypto or stocks or anything. You have to have patience. You have to go into the mindset that, yes, this will be a multi-year endeavor. This is not something I will get in and out in a week or a month or even 6 months, right? This is something that I'm going to be in for 2, 3, 5 years, and I'm going to come out a winner. I'm going to come out attaining financial freedom, right? You got to go in with that mindset and know that crypto is the most volatile market out there. That's why most of us are in it, because it is that volatile both ways. It could go down very fast, but it could go up very fast as well. So that's why you want to be patient. You want DCA and HODL and get in on the dips if you can. Pro, George Army, appreciate it, man. Thoughts on buying UST? There's a risk there. I'm not going to say there's no risk, but I'm thinking that they will figure it out and the peg will go back to $1, right? But there is a risk there, just like buying Terra. But I believe in them. I still hold on my Terra and I still hold on my UST. What is happening to Link, the rock? I mean, they're all sinking like a rock right now, okay? But we seem to have found that bottom after hitting 29,000. So that's positive. We're back up to 31.3. So the entire market should be coming back up, right? But again, we don't know where bottom is. We don't know where top is. DCA along the way. Set its schedule and follow it. Christopher Morales, right? I appreciate that. That's what I do. I try to keep people motivated and focused. Sometimes, hey, I don't admit it much. Sometimes I want to throw in the towel. I want to panic sell too. Like today, I was watching Luna Crater, right? Who wants to see their portfolio down 50% just from one single coin? No one, right? Emotion sometimes gets the best of us, but I have to keep reminding myself, I've seen this before. I don't want to give up. It doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. This is a fantastic project and a fantastic leader. Has one of the biggest TVLs out there right behind Ethereum. It's definitely worth holding on to, right? So you got to remind yourself sometimes. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Bobby Doodle says Elron is second place, has the most validators, ETH at top, and then ADA. Well, ETH doesn't have any validators, so ETH is all miners, so I don't know if you're a little confused there, or maybe a little drunk. That's okay. That's okay. All right. Speaking volume always low. I've been trying to adjust this, man. I got a new microphone. I think it comes out more clearly, but I don't know. Maybe volume is a little lower. I think it's self-adjust. That's why the volume keeps decreasing. But I'll adjust it some more. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. Go enjoy your drinks. I will too. But, you know, today's one of those horrific days, all right? It is. There's no question about it. You got $1 billion worth of liquidation just on Bitcoin alone. You got about $1 billion worth of selling of Bitcoin from the Luna Foundation, right? It's questionable if they can survive. I really hope they do, and I think they will. But let's see what they say. And overall, the market has crashed down. It seems to have found the bottom at 29,000, and we are recovering slightly. But overall today, the Band-Aid has been ripped off, okay? This is, I guess, the transformation. If you survive this, it's like you going through puberty. Now you are a man, okay? One of the most horrific drops that we have gone through over the last few years. And now you are stronger than ever. Okay, you have survived. You have lived through it. You haven't panic sold, right? So, congratulations. We will get through this together. But for me, I think greater things are coming. I continue to stay bullish. I continue to stay in the game. And I continue to DCA because I know we will come out of this stronger than before. All right? So, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I did mention at the beginning of the stream how I haven't seen any big cap fall as much as XRP when the XRP commercial debuted in 2018. You may be wondering what commercial that is. Well, I have it with me, so enjoy.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.